Hey all. Hello everyone. Welcome. Hello. I'm going to give you guys some time to join. So yeah, I'm just going to put the countdown on and give you some time to join. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Hit that like button as you guys come in. Good afternoon. Good evening if you guys are in Europe, in the UK. Good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. So we have a lot to talk about today. And let's just say I watched the episode of Married to Medicine, so the latest episode of Married to Medicine, and I have a lot of things to talk about. So the first thing I really want to talk about is the scene from hell. It felt like so much was happening all at the same time. Like it was King and Dr. G, it was Phaedra, Check, Apollo, Shireen, or whatever her name is. It was like so much was just going on that was so unnecessary and could have been avoided. Now, first of all, before I continue, can you guys hear me just to check that you guys can hear me and everything is good with the audio? Put a one in the chat. Sometimes I forget, but put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I just need one in the chat, just one in the chat. Please let me know that you guys can hear me loud and clear. Okay, before I continue. Don't Diane says, all right, thank you so much, Miss Diane. Okay, so back to this, right? So I felt like this whole thing could have been avoided. Now, I do understand people's perspective that King should defend Quad, absolutely. But I feel like the timing was a little bit off for me. My thing is, if you wanted to defend Quad, why didn't you say something the night before? It was very heated. You could see Dr. G had all that energy. You could see that Quad had all that energy. Why didn't you say anything at the time? You kept quiet. And then all of a sudden, Dr. G is already heated, and then you pull him to the side. That just felt very, very weird to me. I felt like the timing, I felt like King definitely knew what he was doing, and I felt like King definitely was going to get a reaction or was going to get a reaction out of Dr. G regardless. Now, you guys know I don't see it for Dr. G, and I will talk about Dr. G in a second because I absolutely was disgusted by the way he was speaking to Sweet Tea. So we'll get back to that in a second. However, I did feel like it felt a little bit like King was compensating for not sticking up for Quad the night before. At least that's how I felt. Now, let me know what you guys think in the chat because for me, outside looking in, I just kept thinking, King, why now? Why now? Last night, the whole thing happened. It could have been done. You guys had a conversation about it. That was the end of it, or so we thought. Then you went over to that man again whilst he's trying to calm his wife down. And then you pull him to the side to talk about, pull him to the side to talk about this thing that has already been, talked about previously. Sorry, I got distracted. I got a call. Let me put my phone on DND. So it's like, why? What sense does that even make? Why did you feel like it was appropriate to pull this man in between whilst he's trying to calm his wife down, to pull him for a conversation? So I feel like that already started off wrong. Now, I get where King is coming from, in the sense that, of course, that's your babe, that's your girl. You want to protect your girl from anybody. But I do think that there was no need to escalate it to the point of physical violence, in my opinion. I don't think that was fair. I don't think there was any need for it. Now, in a way, the way Dr. G was looking at the back, it seemed like he didn't really think anything was going to happen. He's just there like, he ain't gonna touch me. Like, what are we doing? But anyway, yeah, that's my opinion about this whole thing. I do also think it is very like, for me, did you guys think that the whole Apollo situation was a bit weird? Because I was just thinking, why is Apollo sitting down and talking about his ex-wife with Dr. Heavenly and Simone? I just didn't understand that. I thought that was very, very inappropriate. What was the need for that? What exactly were they trying to accomplish by that sit down? And this is the thing. I feel like this is why Phaedra basically called them mean girls, because it just doesn't make any sense. But I think I'm jumping too quickly tonight, so let me stay on track. We will talk about that in a second. Let me stay on track. Let's talk about this for a second. So it looks like Sweet Tea was having a meltdown in this moment. And I know a lot of people were dragging Phaedra and saying that was Phaedra really speaking in tongues and all that kind of stuff. I think for me, I just think, does it really matter? I think in that moment, a lot was happening, and Phaedra and some of these girlies rallied around Sweet Tea when she needed it the most. They could have ignored her and let her spiral and act like they don't see what's going on, but no, they rallied around her as people should do. You shouldn't be around people that are having a meltdown or are clearly visibly upset, and not like rally around them to like hug on them and try to like, make them calm down a little bit. And this is why I don't think they are going to be able to get rid of that mean girls label. Because it's like, Simone got in the confessionals and she was talking about how can Phaedra be the one when she just had an issue with Shireen or whatever her name is. And my thing is, I feel like, who are you to speak on whether or not somebody has a relationship with God, or whether or not that they are speaking in tongues? In that moment, Phaedra was trying to console somebody. What does that have to do with you? Why are you so pressed that you have to speak on it in your confessionals like God cannot use anybody? Now, I'm not saying I don't know whether or not she was legitimately speaking in tongues. I don't know. I know people say it can be performative, or it was performative on the part of Phaedra. But my thing is, what would be the benefit to pretend? What would be the benefit? It just doesn't, to me, I just don't understand what would be the benefit that Phaedra will get to be out here pretending to be speaking in tongues in that moment. It's just odd to me. It's very, very odd. And I think you don't have to like Phaedra, but I feel like there has to be some very basic level of respect for other people's very, very basic level of respect for what people believe in. If someone is out here trying to console another person, who are you to say how she is choosing to do that is not good if that person in question is consoled? It's like, why can't you guys look past your dislike for Phaedra? Nobody's saying you should like Phaedra. Phaedra is not married to medicine. I think we all knew from day one. But why couldn't you look past that dislike? And why did you have to have a whole conversation about it in your confessionals? You guys were looking and laughing. instead of all of you to come through and like hug on that woman, one thing that is very clear and is coming through a lot is that it feels like Sweet Tea is being alienated by the group as a whole. Now, I know they tried to do it to Quad, and the only reason they didn't get away with doing it to Quad is because Quad's fans spoke up. In a way, I hate and I wish that Mariah's fans, last time when they tried to push Mariah out, that Mariah's fans had fought for her to be on the show. Because if Quad's fans weren't fighting for Quad to be on the show, I bet that she wouldn't be on the show right now. And who else would they focus on pushing out next? Probably Sweet Tea. And so I actually do feel like Phaedra's assessment of calling them a mean girl, mean girls, is actually true. They are operating like mean girls. If they weren't operating like mean girls, why would they have like pushed Mariah out of something that she created? It's very, very, it's crazy. Let's be honest. It's deep rooted for you to push someone out of something that they created, something that they started. It's very, very sinister. And so for me, when I think about the Mean Girls United, I think there's a mixture of Simone, there's a mixture of it's Simone, Heavenly, and Jackie. Those are the people that I think are the mean girls. And I'm glad Heavenly is exposed. Like, you guys know what Heavenly said recently, and the people in the gay community have been gunning for her. And the thing about it is, Heavenly has said some outrageous, disgusting things over the years. You guys know every time you guys come, I'm always talking about how Heavenly said this, Heavenly said that, and calling Heavenly out. But then you always have people still riding for Heavenly. This woman has talked about another woman's fertility. People, where was the outrage? It's like, where is the energy? Where is the outrage for toxic, disgusting behaviors like that? And so, in a way, I'm glad that people are finally paying attention to what a lot of us content creators have been saying for such a long time about Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly has literally said to Contessa, F your mama. What did she say? And Contessa said her mama that died in 2010, and she still repeated it. This is a woman that has no boundaries, that has no boundaries whatsoever, no limits. And she's been allowed to run rampage for such a long time, with a lot of people saying yes and hyping her up and saying she brings the entertainment to the show and she does this and she does that, when all she has been from day one has been disgusting. All she has done on the show has been attacking other Black women, attacking Black men. Now, I'm not saying Dr. G is innocent. We all know Dr. G ain't innocent. But coming for that man, trying to say that he's a PDF, that's crazy. That's something that shouldn't have been allowed, tolerated at all. That's something that should have gotten her fired a long time ago. But people didn't care. And I think one thing that I feel is, even if you don't like somebody, if other people are treating that person badly, it's not okay. And I think it's so important that, like, yes, you can have your faves. Yes, I have my faves. Absolutely. But then if my fave is treating someone in a horrible way, I will be calling it out. And so I think Heavenly has done that for so many years. She's called women all types of things. She said all sorts of disgusting things. She said a lot of downright low, horrific things with no repercussions whatsoever. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. So, a lot of people, there's been a lot of things said by Heavenly, a lot of horrible things. And I wish that people would have cancelled her then. Because if they had cancelled her then, she wouldn't continue to do what she does. People like Heavenly thrive on attention. So the more they get attention from the public, the more people are talking about her, the more people are talking about her on the show. People have made her feel big headed. Like she brings so much to Married to Medicine. Like Married to Medicine will be nothing without her. And I think that's the problem with making one cast member feel like they are the reason or they are the show. Nobody should be the show. It should be an ensemble. And so I'm honestly not surprised that Dr. Heavenly has gotten to the point where she is so out of order now. And people are finally seeing her for who she is. But she's been this person for a long time. So in a way, I'm glad she is finally getting consequences for her actions. She has gone uncurbed without being held accountable for such a long time. So I'm glad that there is an outrage, even though I wish that the outrage had come earlier when she talked about somebody's fertility. I wish the outrage had come when she was constantly talking about people's mothers. But instead, people found it funny, people found it entertaining. And the thing is, at what point do we think, like, are we contributing to the toxicity? Because it's like, why would somebody like Heavenly with the hellish behaviors that she has portrayed on the show, off the show, on her recaps, she has done so much, even on the show. Even on the show. Imagine doing so much on the show. Yet, you have been able to get away with it for so many years. So I'm glad enough is enough. And I feel bad because I'm talking about Heavenly and Simone is Simone is the person that I'm showing. Bless Simone. But actually, not bless Simone, because Simone is also part of the Mean Girls Club. Simone, Jackie, and Heavenly. I personally feel like Jackie and Simone let Heavenly do their dirty work, especially Jackie lets Heavenly do her dirty work. Because once Jackie has an issue with somebody, next thing, Heavenly goes after that person, in my opinion. Once Jackie had an issue with Phaedra about raising money for her, what's it called, her charity. Next thing, we noticed that Phaedra became a target. So that's why I say it is very much given attack whoever Jackie doesn't like. And this is why I feel like the show is getting progressively worse. It's getting progressively worse because there's no way you're attacking. There is no way you're attacking people constantly and you think that the newbies are going to stay. I feel like the show has gotten to a point. The show needs a revamp. The show needs a revamp. Things need to change. Absolutely needs to change on the show. If things don't change on the show, you won't be surprised. People will completely stop watching the show. And they will begin to lose their viewers. I feel like that's where it's at now. It's gotten to that extent. Because it's like, Married to Medicine was nice, funny, light-hearted. Now it just feels like a bunch of catty women. A bunch of catty women constantly coming for people they perceive to be the easiest targets. Because they have a pack mentality. The doctors stay together. And so it feels like it's the doctors versus the others. Now, let's move on to Heavenly and Contessa. So I really did appreciate Contessa being able to sort of play a little bit like a peacemaker or neutral party here. She was able to put her side, her issues with Heavenly, and pretty much just focus on like, okay, why did things get that way with Sweet Tea? And this is why how you know Heavenly is so performative. Even then, she's like, yeah, Sweet Tea is a sweet girl. You know she's a sweet girl, so why do you constantly treat her the way you treat her? And this is why it's not hard, it's not far-fetched for people to be like, yeah, you're a bunch of mean girls, because that's what you guys are. A bunch of mean girls. Absolutely. That's what you guys are. And I'm sure Dr. Contessa, I appreciate her still sort of like sticking in and having a little bit of a conversation around Sweet Tea, because I do feel that it's easy, especially because now that she's back and she may want to never like, be let off on the show and stuff. She may want to continue to be on the show. So I'm glad that she still felt like, okay, let's talk about it. Because she could have just acted like, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about it because I want to continue to stay on the show. I don't want to come across like, I have beef with anybody. Let me just get along to get along. But she didn't do that. She could have done that. She could have done that. And so I absolutely think, shout out to Contessa on that. Now, Dr. Heavenly, I don't know what your issue is. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like, there was a time where there was a rumor, allegedly. Let me put my banner up. Okay. There was a rumor, allegedly, that her husband has some mixed babies out there. Okay. I don't know if it's true. No, nobody has come out yet. But it feels like there's some truth to that. And I say that because the way she is acting, she is losing the plot. The way she is, it's like, you mean is everything good? Is everything good at home? Because the way you're coming at everybody is problematic. It's concerning. It gives me cause for pause. Like, is everything good at home? Is Damon Daddy okay? Are the babies okay? Like, what is going on? Why do you have such a big energy? Such a rah energy. 1 second, guys. Give me a second. I had this like shoulder pain. Ugh. Okay. I went to the gym this morning. I think maybe I might have pulled something at the gym when I was working out. But anyway, I'll sort it out later. So my thing is like, is everything good at home? Is Dr. G doing okay? Oh, sorry, Dr. Damien doing okay? Is everything all right? Because the way she's going at everybody is concerning. And I think it's very interesting and I think it's all absolutely intentional. Think about it. If you were Heavenly and your husband allegedly has side babies out there, but you don't want anybody to talk about it, what would you do on a show? You would bring so much drama that no one even has any energy or time to talk about your business. Everything I say is alleged, by the way. But that's what it feels like. It feels like you would rather call out everybody, bring Apollo on, try to like incite all sorts of craziness. And then, like, when everything has happened, you now sit down so coy. She was so coy on the boat. I'm just like, for somebody who practically started all this mess, you're awfully quiet. Why are you quiet? Why? So that was what really like caught me. Anyways, you guys know I think Czech is a beautiful looking man. Okay, so I ain't got nothing more to say on this one. So this scene annoyed me because one, why did you feel like you needed to have a conversation with Apollo and then you guys are specifically talking about Phaedra? You guys could have focused on exactly what happened and that should have been it. Instead, you're saying, oh, well, Phaedra is a private person. Are you trying to get tea about Phaedra from Apollo? Because that's what it felt like. And this is why it's like you guys are toxic and messy, but then you guys say, oh, we're sisterhood, we're a community, we love each other, we support each other. Like, stop lying. Where is the support? Where is the support? Apollo said something stupid, in my opinion. Now, you guys may not agree with me, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section, right? So, Apollo was insinuating that Phaedra doesn't feel like she's on the same level as the doctors. I'm like, Apollo, are you it maybe the prison has made your head a little bit dunce, a little bit slow. Maybe some screws are loose in your head, but I don't understand why you think that she would think she's any less than compared to doctors. Doctors and lawyers, are we playing? Are we actually serious? So I didn't really understand that. Oh, they're a bunch of educated women. So is she. So what is the what exactly is that? What was the reason for that point? I think he was just trying to like make it sound like, oh, maybe Phaedra is jealous of the girls. What exactly could she possibly be jealous of? You guys don't really have solid relationships, except Toya and Eugene, in my opinion. My opinion. You guys are probably on the same level financially, in my opinion. You guys probably have to work so hard and do so many hours. Maybe she might not even be doing that because she owns her mortuary or whatever it's called. So for me, I just don't understand what Apollo was trying to insinuate. So guys, I'm gonna put this to you guys in the chat. Do you believe that Apollo is right that Phaedra is sort of Phaedra feels like she's not on the same level with the Married to Medicine cast? Let me know in the chat. Do you feel like Phaedra is not on the same level as the Married to Medicine cast? Let me type that out. I don't even know how to do a poll whilst I'm on the thing. I don't know how to do a poll whilst I'm on live with you guys. Do you guys agree with Apollo? Let me know. Uh-oh. Do you guys agree with Apollo? Also, forgive the random typo at the end. I was just like, I'm trying to do multiple things at once. Because I personally, I don't see it. But maybe you guys see it. Maybe you guys feel that way. Let me know. Do you guys think Phaedra is jealous of the girlies? And yeah, let me know. Because I do not see it. I do not see that at all. I don't see that at all. Okay. Um, let me see the chat. What are you guys saying? Somebody says I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree. Absolutely do not agree. It's weird to me. I don't get it. I don't get it. But let's move on. Okay, let me remove this so we can see. Now, first of all, Phaedra Parks, shout out to you. Because the way Phaedra decided to walk out, if you ever had to leave a job, that's how you should walk out. She definitely left, she ate and she left no crumbs. She ate that scene all the way up. She's like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of mean girls. I you guys can play with anyone. I'm not the one to play with. and I'm hopping on my jet that has been waiting for me. I was like, okay, all right. I do agree with her. Think about it. All of the new people that had come on Married to Medicine, they had been chased off one way or another. Let's not forget, Contessa was chased off as well. She only just came back, what, recently. So I just think that this group, they are a bunch of catty, mean girls. I'm not surprised at all. This scene, I don't really want to talk about it. There was really nothing to it. But Simone feeling upset about being called mean girls. Girl, you're proving her point. You both are proving her point right now. Look at Jackie and Simone. You guys are proving her point right now. Now let's talk about Dr. G and Sweetie. Honestly, guys, this broke my heart. This broke my heart because I feel like Sweet Tea is a sweet girl. She really is. And of course, I don't know her personally, but I'm just saying from what we see, she comes across as a very, very sweet girl. But I think that Dr. Gregory, for a psychiatrist, he really doesn't have a handle on his own emotions. And it's so bothersome to me because I'm thinking if I employ somebody, if I'm getting a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever the case may be, I'm expecting you to be able to handle emotions. I'm expecting you to be able to teach me things. I'm expecting you to be able to help my mental health. But if I was watching Dr. G on TV, never would I go to his practice. Because I would think this psychiatrist does not know how to handle his emotions. He can't hold it together. He can't have a conversation, a spirited conversation with his wife, knowing fully well it's going to be on camera, and not calm that bass in his voice. Well, is it really bass? Or calm his voice. Speak to her without shouting. Have a better tone with her. It's not looking good for you, Dr. G. Because I know people don't like quad, but with this behavior that you're showing, everyone believes quad when she talks about the toxicity that was happening in you guys' marriage. Everybody that is watching this now believes quad for good reason. Because why would you speak to your wife like that? And it was very sad because Sweet Tea, all she does is try to support Dr. G. In front of him, behind him. When King was about to whoop Dr. G's ass, she was charging towards King like she wanted to whoop that ass too. So it's like this woman is a rider. She's out here trying to ride for you, and then you have the audacity to be in front of her and drop the ball and speak to her in that way. And the fact that Sweet Tea stayed calm is something that is to be studied. She stayed calm, she stayed measured. She was literally just saying to him, at some point she said, "Stop, stop." She even whispered. It's like she's trying to protect you. That's not her job. And it's sad because it looks like Sweet Tea is a team player, and then Dr. G is out here wanting to play games. Because you can have a dialogue with Quad, she can't. You can defend her, she can't. And this is giving me a little bit of parallels to Marceau and Tisha, a little bit. Because every time Tisha tries to defend herself or Marceau in any way, Marceau steps in and tries to shut it down. That's what it's given. Because I don't see anything that Sweet Tea now, of course, I get what he's saying about don't go trying to attack a man. I get it. I get it. Don't go trying to attack nobody. I get it. But like she said, she's combat trained. Okay? So she's saying, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Now, I don't know what would have happened. We don't know where it would have ended. But there is no reason for you to raise your voice at your wife. It's almost like Dr. G cannot push that energy, put out that energy towards King, for instance. Instead, he brings that energy home and then attacks his wife. I'm like, that's the lady, that's the woman that is on your team. If anything, she should be the one you're out here being so sweet to, apologizing, all that good stuff. That's what you should be doing. There's no reason why you should be the one out here screaming in her face, calling her naive. Did you guys pick up on? I personally think the fact that he's calling her naive and making it seem that she's immature, that's not to say that there aren't certain levels of immaturity in Sweet Tea. I love you, girl, but sometimes I see levels of immaturity here and there, right? However, to call this woman naive in this situation is not right. You're gaslighting her. One, you're not speaking to her in the right way. Two, she's only trying to help and defend you. Instead of you to say, baby, I really appreciate you trying to defend me. You looks like you really wanted to whoop that ass. I appreciate you. But just for safety reasons, please don't do it again. That could have been it. There was no reason for Dr. G to be out here talking to her like that. I think Dr. G thought that because Sweet Tea was young, he would be able to deal and talk to her in any way. But if you guys notice, Sweet Tea has a backbone. Even with Dr. G now, she may not go off on him, but she corrects him. She says, she speaks her mind. And I don't think he was ready for that. I think he thought dating a woman that is years younger than me, she's going to take my BS. Whatever I say would be gospel. I can do and say whatever and it's going to be cool. I think he had another thing coming. Because Sweet Tea is not the one. And in my opinion, when Sweet Tea finally gets on Dr. G, I hope he's ready. Because she ain't never going to take ish from him. But I will be honest, that scene really, really upset me, saddened me to like actually see that. I'm like, nah, sir, do better. We're too grown for this. You're a psychiatrist. And so if anyone in the chat, do you guys actually, have you guys ever used Dr. Gregory? Do you guys know anybody who has? Because I'm just trying to figure out how good is he? I feel like he needs his own psychiatrist or maybe a therapist, someone he can speak to about these things, because he needs to really learn how to speak to his wife or he will no longer have a wife. That's just my take. I do think that Sweet Tea tried to calm him down by telling him to stop. She kept telling him to stop. And I think also, which then makes me feel, if this is happening on camera, what is happening behind closed doors that we are not seeing? What is happening outside of the cameras that we are not seeing? That's the bit that concerns me, because I'm just like, if this is what we are seeing and listening to, the mics were on and you were still okay and comfortable saying this, that's because you don't see anything wrong with it. You don't see anything wrong in the things, your behaviors, what you do, all that stuff. You don't see anything wrong with it. And so it's like, The fact that you don't see anything wrong with it is a huge problem. It's very, very problematic. Also, guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. It's a free way to support the channel, okay? All right, because I'm looking at the likes. The likes ain't matching. The likes is not matching, guys. Please hit that like button. Thank you. God bless and thank you. Okay, let's move on to something else. Let's move on to this scene right here. This scene was just complete foolery, in my opinion. Now, I will say, the queen of this scene that deserves some props is Toya. One thing, I know some people don't really be liking Toya, but I've been enjoying Toya this season. I've been enjoying Toya maybe even in the last 2 seasons. Because I feel like Toya is speaking the truth that nobody really wants to hear. But she is the one that actually stays on this channel, or on this channel, on this show, and tells the truth. Because these people don't be telling the truth. These people be playing in our faces. How many times does Heavenly play in our face and tell us that she's working on herself and things are looking up and all that kind of stuff? All of the time. Every time. Every time. So I'm glad that somebody within the group who has sort of become accepted in the group is out here calling them out, because it needs to be said. Isn't it funny how when they went through everybody, all the ladies, they were like, no, they wouldn't want their husband's ex or mistress or whatever being brought on the show. You wouldn't want your ex to be brought on the show, to be brought into this group. Yet, you thought it was okay to bring Apollo and Shireen or whatever her name is. You brought both of them, knowing fully well that Apollo was cheating on Phaedra when she was pregnant with, I think, his vice president or Mr. President. I may be wrong. So you knew that, yet you brought her on the show. Are you guys people who really care about families and care about like each other? And that, no, this is the behavior of someone who is mean. Let's not forget, was it last season or was it the season before, where Jackie almost had a whole blow up, meltdown, literally almost had a whole meltdown just because they mentioned the place where her husband used to take the side chick. What kind of craziness is that? Imagine that. Like, that is so wild to me. Let me just read the comments a little bit. Dr. G should have said to his wife, come on, baby, let's blow this popsicle stand. He should have taken his wife and walked away instead of going word for word with his... Absolutely. This is the thing. And this is why I keep saying that he is so immature. He does not have a handle on his emotions. He absolutely does not have a handle on his emotions. If someone has a handle on their emotions, you're not going to let somebody play in your face. Of course, Quad was looking for a reaction. That much was obvious. She was throwing jabs constantly. It was obvious. So, but Dr. G was so stupid to play into her hands. And this is the thing about people who can't control their emotions. What they don't realize is if you cannot control your emotions, then everyone else will be controlling you. Other people will control you if you cannot control your emotions. Other people will control you. You cannot control how you act. That means anybody and anything can control you. They have a hold of you. They have you on chokehold, literally. Because they can get you to do whatever it is that they want to do. And that's why I say, like, Dr. G as a psychiatrist, I am shocked. I'm appalled that he's the one person that does not seem to have control over his emotions, and it's very, very sorry to say. Absolutely. Anelia, hey girl, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. Hope you've hit that like button. Hope you've hit that like button. But seriously, everybody in the chat, please hit that like button. Hit that like button, okay? All right, let's keep going. JTel says good commentary. Thank you so much. Thank you, JTel. Thank you. Dr. G made himself look bad. Yep. Absolutely made himself look bad. It was terrible to see. I'm just like, why would you ever? Like, it's one thing. People could have given you a pass, right? For going at Quad. Because people felt like, okay, Quad kept throwing jabs the whole time and stuff. And people felt like it wouldn't have escalated if Quad didn't keep throwing jabs. People could have given him a pass because they're like, okay, that's your ex-wife and whatnot. But the fact that you're speaking to your current wife, who has been nothing but supportive, riding for you, defending you, no, people cannot get over that. People cannot get over that. Last week, a lot of people were talking about how King was wrong, King was wrong, King was wrong. This week, after people have seen how Dr. G was talking to Sweet Tea, nobody is rooting for Dr. G. Nobody is saying Dr. G was in the right for the issue between he and King. So that's my thing. But it's like, imagine Dr. G was your psychiatrist. Would you feel comfortable? Nah, and I want you guys to answer this question. Would you ever go to Dr. G for psychiatric help? Would you ever go to Dr. G for any sort of therapy? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. Like, would you, if Dr. G was the last psychiatrist, would you go to him? Anelia said he reeks of violence. Absolutely. Violence. And I really hope that this is not Sweet Tea's experience indoors. I really hope it's not Sweet Tea's experience indoors, because if this is her experience indoors, my goodness. But the more I watched it, the more I was like, oh, this feels like what happens on a regular. Because why is she trying to like curb him and tell him, no, 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 like don't do that. Like stop it, stop it. She's literally trying to caution him. And I'm like, is this what you do behind closed doors? Is this what you do on a regular basis? Like, seriously. JTel says, hell no. Absolutely. There is no way. Even if Dr. G was the last psychiatrist on earth, I would say, do you know what? I'm going to fix the issues myself. This is just on a personal level. Because I'm like, nah, he can't even handle his emotions. And you know what? It's so funny. Sometimes he may actually be such a good psychiatrist. He may actually be that. It's funny, you know how they say doctors make the worst patients? He may actually be one of those. He may be so amazing at what he does, but then does not apply those same things to himself. Those same, like, I don't know, whatever it is you're giving to your patients, maybe you need to start looking to you and see what you may need. But yeah, I agree with you, JTel. There is no chance. There is no way, no matter what, that I will be going to Dr. G's practice under any circumstance. Anelia said his ego is taller than he is. Absolutely. And I don't get why he has that level of ego. I just don't understand. I don't understand that. Like, what is the ego about? Like, okay, you're a doctor, you're a psychiatrist. Yes, I get it. Okay. And like, what is this ego about? Like, instead of you, this is a new wife. She has not even been married to you for that long. And you're already treating her like this publicly. It's like you're making it easy for people to talk about your marriage. You're making it easy for people to start seeing or, disrespecting your marriage. And most times when they disrespect your marriage, they disrespect your marriage to Sweet Tea, not you. They're not talking about these things in front of you as such. They're saying it behind you guys, in front of Sweet Tea. They're taking jabs at her. So if you don't respect your wife, you can't be surprised if the rest of the group does not respect your wife. I think that's part of the problems in the group. Sweet Tea is not respected at home. So, of course, nobody's respecting her outside as well. Well, at least I probably should correct that. From what we see on the screen, it doesn't look like Dr. G is respectful at home. I don't know what happens in their home, so I don't want to speak on that. I think I misspoke. But from what we're seeing on screen, it doesn't look good. It looks like this is what Dr. G does behind closed doors. And that's not the kind of relationship you want to be on. He can't even perform for how long whilst on camera, whilst mic'd up. He couldn't even hold it together and hold his emotions. Like, bear in mind, as a kid, these are the things that you get taught, how to manage your emotions. So you're not out here at his age behaving the way he's behaving. Gardening with DIY girlfriend. Oh, interesting name. I think a lot of women do what Sweet Tea does behind closed doors. That's why they have lasting marriages. Because most males are quick to anger and don't know how to regulate their emotions. Honestly, say it louder. I really couldn't agree more. I feel like, and it's weird because it's almost encouraged. People tell you, yeah, he's a man. Sometimes he gets angry. It's okay. That's why he's a man. Like, just calm down and, give him time to get over it. No, it's not acceptable. Because he's a man, he should lead. And he should lead in the sense that he shouldn't be coming on this angry nonsense. If you want the relationship to be thriving and peaceful, bring peaceful energy to me or bring your peaceful energy to your wife. If you bring rah-rah energy, then don't be surprised if that's what you get back. So I just think that, yes, we say, and I agree with you, a lot of men are like that. But I think like women need to also stop encouraging other women to tolerate that. Because I think there have been instances, women and men need to stop teaching women to tolerate that. Because there have been situations where maybe I'm getting to know somebody and I notice that they're very quick to anger. Even if you're not angry with me, the levels to which you go when you're angry tells me enough that I need to know. But when I talk to people, they're always like, yeah, but it wasn't like he got angry at you. Like, why are you like making a big deal? But I feel like these are the signs. These are things that then escalate when you get married to these people that show that they are quick to anger. I'm sure that there is no way anybody will be talking to Dr. G and will not know that that man is quick to anger. It's so obvious. Absolutely obvious. Very sickening. I agree with that statement. Absolutely agree too. Completely agree. Now, I want to talk about, excuse me, I want to talk about Toya, what Toya said a little bit. And I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think that the married to medicine girlies are mean girls? Let me know in the chat. Do you guys think, and I'll let you guys tell me first before I move on to what I think. Do you guys think that the married to medicine girlies are mean girls? Do you think Dr. Jackie's a mean girl? Do you think Dr. Heavenly's a mean girl? Do you think Dr. Simone is a mean girl? And why do you think that? Why do you think that? Let me know in the chat. Why do you think that? I see a yes in the chat. Why? Why do you think that these girlies are mean girlies? I'm just very, very curious. Why do you think they are? Why do you think they are? Also, whilst people are putting that in the chat, guys, please hit the like button as you just hit that like button as you guys are listening in if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because the likes still ain't matching. So please smash that like button. Smash it. Thank you very much. Okay. So JTEL says yes. JTEL, why do you think that is? Let us know in the chat. Arnelia says yes, and I think they dislike Quad and Phaedra for the same reason. Absolutely. I feel like somewhere in their minds, they probably feel like Quad and Phaedra are not on their level. They probably feel like these people aren't doctors. If they ain't doctors, what are they? And the thing is, there are lots of people who make more money than doctors in this world. So I don't think that making or creating a standard of if you ain't doctors, then what are you doing? Because if you remember, at some point, I think at some point they also hated Toya because they hated and they used to call her dumb all the time and hated her because she was a stay-at-home mom who had a husband that was providing for her. And they exactly, oh, Anelia, you're hitting the nail on the head. Absolutely hitting the nail on the head. Yep. And the fact that they aren't clamoring all over them makes them feel like, who do they think they are? Absolutely. That, weirdly enough, you know, the scene where, let me just back this up a little bit. The scene where they were all together, the way they were speaking made me realize these people have an issue. These people are jealous or for some reason they're envious. It's like, is it that you guys feel like you guys have to work harder than these women that seem to be getting things easily for them? Remember, at this point they were teasing about the whole private jet. And I'm just like, okay, you guys should be able to afford private jets too, but maybe you guys are more frugal with your money. Or maybe you can't afford private jets. Who knows? I don't know what your bank account is saying. But the fact that they were making it seem like, oh, well, Phaedra feels like she can't hang with us, and who does she think she is, and all that kind of stuff. And let's not forget, I'm going to get on Cecil in a minute because Cecil said something that pissed me off. And I don't know if you guys picked it up, but Cecil said something that really irked and disgusted me. But I do think these girlies are a bunch of mean girls, so I completely agree with you. Dr. Devil, hellish. Dr. Devil, hellish, and Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simon have no storylines but keeping on mess. Absolutely. They do not have anything else to do but that. And it's interesting. I used to kind of like Simone, but I think this season, nah, I do not see it for Simone. I do not see it for Jackie. I've never seen it for Heavenly. I think that she is gutter and takes everything too far. Like I said, I'm glad that she's finally being held accountable. I wish that it was done a long time ago. And I hope that the outrage continues because I feel like when people like Heavenly, unless they see continuous repercussions for what they do, they will continue to do it. I feel like she was okay to treat Quad the way she treated Quad until she realized that people, Quad gang or whatever they call themselves, were not feeling her and the rest of the girlies. So then guess what she did? She switched. It's the same way at some point she's always saying all these crazy things or used to say all these things about Mel. But then when she noticed that people were not feeling it, she started saying, yeah, you guys know I love Mel. She'll try to do that as a disclaimer before she says the nonsense she wants to say. And so I feel like with someone like Heavenly, unless she sees the repercussions, like she maybe potentially loses certain opportunities, she loses money, she's not going to stop. She loses the attention that she gets from people. Because the thing is, when she goes low, there are so many people that are always in her comment section saying, yeah, yeah, I love how she told that ass up, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, oh, really? You loved it. But now that it's been directed, now it's not okay anymore. But when she was doing such hellish, disgusting things, it was okay. Nobody said anything, or a lot of people weren't saying stuff. So I do think that I hope that they continue to hold her accountable in this season because she needs to learn. If not, she's going to do it again and again and again in different forms. In different forms. I don't think she's ever had to deal with any repercussions, serious consequences for her actions. Even the so called apology that she gave was not an apology, it was not genuine. I feel she just said it just to say it. She just said it just because she's like, okay, my majority of my fan base are from this community. Let me just say it so that everybody will leave me alone. That's what it was given. Guys, hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button. Okay, Arnelia says they get their value from their titles. That is a word. That is a word. Literally, we can finish the sermon over right now. That is a word. They get their values from their titles. You're so right. Do you guys remember when Heavenly first came? And Dr. Jackie and I believe, was it Simone? They were really hopping on the fact that she wasn't a doctor. She wasn't a medical doctor. I think it was Jackie especially. She's not a medical doctor. She ain't a medical doctor. And it was like, Hellish was trying to get their validation in some way. And it was like, okay, you have the medical doctors, then you have the dentists, so sort of under that. That is what it was given. And so I completely agree with you, Arnelia. It's given the value, their value is in their titles. If they're not doctors, they're nothing else. And if someone doesn't hold them on a pedestal, they feel threatened. Oh, Arnelia, when I thought it couldn't get any better, you made it even better. Absolutely, absolutely. You are saying it. You're saying it louder. Honestly, I'm an engineer. I've worked with people like that every step of the way. They are the same. Absolutely. And I remember, even for me, when I was practicing, and I would have like a lot of people around me who, when I was like, oh, I'm thinking of, transitioning into other roles and stuff like that, they were like, yeah, but you are this, and why would you want to stop doing this? And I'm just like, guys, like, you guys are so like gung-ho about the title, but it's like I can be anything that I want to be, right? Nobody is saying minimize your accomplishment. Absolutely. You're a doctor, It's an amazing thing to be, especially because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work. Absolutely. But then don't make that your whole personality. Don't make that your whole life story, your whole life thing, and your whole value comes from the fact that you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're an engineer, whatever it is. So I think that's what's wrong with these women on the show. So I want to talk quickly about Toya. I really liked the way Toya called everybody out and said that we need to take a look at some of the things that we have done. And I agree, because it's like, you may say you're not mean girls, but you said you've done some crazy-ish. You've done some terrible-ish. You guys pushed Mariah out of what she created. You guys pushed her out of the opportunities that she presented to most of you guys. That's mean girl behavior, right? So it's like, I'm glad that in a way I feel like Toya is the nemesis. I love the fact that she's calling them out. Imagine when it was being passed to Toya, everyone looks like, oh my god, what is Toya gonna say? But guess what? She speaks the truth. And it's interesting because Toya also comes across as somebody who doesn't really hold grudges. Once you apologize, it's done. And that's one of the things that I like about her character on the show. And I wish that they would have more people like Toya in the sense of like forgiving, moving on. I also don't think that she goes that low. I think Heavenly does things that takes things too far that is so hard to come back from. It's so hard to bring that back. How do you bring back your mama? Like, I'm even surprised that Dr. Contessa is still actually speaking to Heavenly. Because ain't nobody gonna talk about my mama and then I will be out here kicking and laughing with them. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Now, of course, I'm all for peace, but I'm just saying, like, Dr. Heavenly takes it too far. So I wish, like, all the other folks were a little bit more forgiving. Don't hound one person. Just, yeah, just relax and give us the entertainment. Now it's getting too heated. It's getting too, like, mean. Before, Married to Medicine used to be lighthearted. It used to be fun. Now it just feels like it's too heavy. Like, that fight didn't need to happen. Unnecessary. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Cecil. I didn't even put a picture for Cecil, so you guys just imagine Cecil. Did you guys hear, and I want to know whether you guys heard this, please let me know in the chat. Did you guys hear Cecil say, and then though there are these kind of bitches that you have to let them go? Did you guys hear it? Did you guys hear it? Please let me know, because I can't be the only one that heard that. Whilst you guys are doing that, I want to see if I can find the clip. I want to see if I can find the clip. Let me know. Because he was like, he literally said, and these kind of bitches, you have to let them go. I'm like, wait, you're using the B word to refer to women? Like, sir, you don't lost your mind. And if you guys notice, I think one of the first Married to Medicine episodes I did this season, I talked about how it was giving like Cecil wants to be in the women's drama too much. Like, why are you so heavily involved in the women drama? Like, what is going on there? And so it's just weird to me. But I'm trying to look for the clip. But yeah, please, guys, everybody in the chat, let me know. Did you guys hear Cecil literally say, these are the kind of bitches you have to let go? Let me see if I can find the clip, because I feel like I need to find the clip, because I don't know if you guys, because nobody has said yes, they can, or they saw it. So let me know. Because I'm just like, I can't be the only one that heard that. And if that's the case, is it okay for a man to be out here, a married man, calling women bees? Is that okay? I can't seem to find the clip. Welcome to the folks that just came back in the chat. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Aha. Oh my goodness. You see, I wasn't making it up. I have not been able to find that clip. But I heard Cecil say that. Dorothy says, yes, I heard that. I think he was referring to Sweet Tea. What do y'all think? The thing is, I think it may have been Sweet Tea and Phaedra, because those were the only two ladies that left. So I felt like he was trying to say that to Sweet Tea and Phaedra. And The other thing, so I'll come back to this, but let's talk about this first and I'll come back to something I just remembered. My thing is, should a married man be getting that invested in women's business? If you guys were married and your husband said something like that out of his mouth, how would you guys feel? Would you guys check him? Would you say nothing? What would you guys do? Let me know in the chat. If your husband was out here calling other women that are in your friend circle bees, would you check him or would you let it go? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat, because to me, that is Ella wrong. Absolutely wrong. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat. Would you guys check him? Would you guys check your husband if he was out here calling your friend or ex-friend, whatever the case may be, a bee? These are the kind of bees you have to let them go. Like, what? Like, how dare you get involved? How dare you get involved? You know, it's terrible. Like, why? Why would you? Someone says that's so terrible to say. Absolutely, absolutely terrible to say. Like, why would you say that? For you to be calling a woman a bee, disgusting behavior. Why are you getting involved in women's business? That is sassy behavior, sassy, feminine behavior. That was something that you shouldn't have gotten involved in at all. As a grown ass man, that should be the last thing on your mind, talking about women's business. So to me, he was Ella wrong. Absolutely. Ella wrong. Why are you so invested? If you guys remember, even at the start of the season, he was the one doing the bone carrying thing between Quad and his wife. Like, what is your problem? Do you have too much time on your hands? I thought he was like a realtor or something. Like, he clearly has too much time on his hands, because why are you so invested? The other men stay out of it. But then for some reason, this man is always in the women's business. Like, mind your business, sir. It's weird. Dorothy says, oh, he will definitely be checked. My question to my husband will be, why are you so invested? Absolutely. Why are you so invested? Even for me, like, you know how sometimes you like tell your man and you're like, oh, this happened and this happened. And then the next thing he's like all piping off for you. And you're like, no, this ain't your fight. This ain't your fight. This is me just telling you, okay? Like, this ain't your fight. This is between me and the people. This ain't your fight. Because I just don't get it. Don't be using the B word for women. And then, like, are you going to call your wife a B? And then you're calling women that don't even like, they're not even your friends. Like, why do you think that's acceptable? And even if they were your friends, still not acceptable. Don't be out here calling women bees. So yeah, I will be checking him. Why are you invested? I don't want to hear nothing about it. When you guys are out here with your doing your guy-ish, I don't be getting involved. Why are you out here getting involved? That's what I would say too. Guys, hit that like button. At this point, like, why is the likes not matching? Hit that like button. You guys, you guys are going to make me create a song. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. No, but seriously, hit that like button. Thank you. Sis. Yeah, it's giving team too much. Husbands need to stay in their place. Just stay in your place. There's no reason for you to be getting involved in women's business. Most times we'll squash it anyway, so don't get involved. Doesn't make any sense. Now, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about. I had seen it on social media, but then I got a little bit distracted. Let me see if I can find it. Mm. Did you guys also notice, right, that in this whole group setting, they kept making it seem like Letitia Sweet Tea was wrong? Did I miss something? Like, did you guys notice? Because the way everyone was like, yeah, Sweet Tea, this, Sweet Tea, that, it was given like everyone was feeling like Sweet Tea was wrong. But I'm like, what exactly did Sweet Tea do wrong? So I'm not following. Unless I'm missing something. Unless I'm missing something. So I don't really know what that is about, right? The other thing is, if you notice, they all kept apologizing to Quad for bringing Dr. G around and stuff. But I was like, okay, I noticed there was no apology. Even if Phaedra wasn't there could have been like, okay, an apology for bringing Apollo and Shireen or whatever her name is, right? There could have been an apology, but there wasn't an apology. Nothing was brought up yet. They used the opportunity to beg Quad again. And this is why I feel like the only reason they keep begging Quad and trying to make Quad happy is because they know the viewers like Quad. So they're just like, yo, we can't afford to get on Quad's bad side. We don't want the viewers to attack us. So let's just stay here and just be like, whatever Quad says. Sorry, Quad. But it's very weird. I do think that a lot of work needs to be done for the new season if they don't want to bring us this nonsense yet again. I feel like things need to change. Things absolutely need to change because I don't think I'm going to be able to watch another season if it is going to be the Mean Girls Club. Because if I wanted to watch Bad Girls Club, I would just go over there and watch Bad Girls Club. There's no reason for these grown women to be acting this Kathy. Kathy? Catty? Catty. For a second, I couldn't pronounce Catty. But yeah, there's no reason for these women to be acting catty and getting so hamped up and hyped up. Like, what is that about? What is that about? Absolutely terrible. Now, I did also see, I was just like, reading comments and stuff, and I saw something about apparently people said that Shireen was also talking about Phaedra's parenting and that they had edited it, let me say allegedly, okay? And that they had edited it out of the scenes that we saw. Now, because I was thinking, did everything that happened, was it so deep for Phaedra to have gone home? But if they were talking about her parenting, then I can understand her feeling that the ladies weren't really supporting her. I can understand feeling like, wow, you guys are coming for me as a mother. Like, that is just outrageous. That is too far. Cause like it's all fun and games to be out here kicking and laughing and saying all sorts. But once you start coming for somebody as a mom, like that just takes it entirely too far. And so I feel like maybe that's why Phaedra left. I was just like, I'm not dealing with this because I feel like Phaedra has been on Real Housewives of Atlanta, was on Real Housewives for a while. So I feel like Phaedra can stand and go back and forth with people. She's quite witty. So I'm quite surprised that she did not engage with the Married to Medicine ladies on that level. I would have appreciated she if she had gotten a few, kicks in because I feel like they wanted a sport, and I wish that she had given them a good sport where she had like gone back and like read them for filth. Because I feel like it would have been so nice. Like, imagine reading everybody for filth. Then of course, I loved her exit. Like, imagine reading everyone for filth, and then you're like, I'm gonna go get on my jet. And then you go and get on your jet. I just feel like that would have even elevated it even further. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I like a little sprinkle of, razzle dazzle. Because I feel like Phaedra, we were really excited for you to join the show. and you did not come through as much as I thought you would, in my opinion. So next time, please, if you're ever back on Married to Medicine, we need you to bring it. Thank you. Raven with lean. I don't know. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. My opinions. Dr. Simone is the witch with 1,000 teeth coming out of her mouth. Dr. Demon. Wow. Dr. Demon is a drunken, evil, envious POS. What is a POS? POS. Remind me. Tell me, guys, what is a POS? Maybe I'm being slow. For me, when you say POS, that's the thing that you guys you I think is used to like take money or collect money from a card. And Dr. Jackie is the crypt keeper. Okay, let's dissect this. Dr. Simone is the witch with 1,000 teeth coming out of her mouth. I can absolutely see that. Dr. Simone, when I saw the dynamic with the group where she was like, oh, she's calling us mean girls, I'm like, the reason you're so offended is because you're a mean girl. Because if someone called me a mean girl, I would laugh. Because I'm like, there's no way of all the things you can call me in this life, you call me a mean girl. Like, please, you don't know me. Get out of my face. That is not going to bother me because that has nothing remotely close to that ain't remotely close to who I am, right? But if there's some truth in there, like nobody's saying you can't be irritated if someone calls you a mean girl, but the venom that she was spewing after that was given mean girl. So it's like you're proving her point exactly. It's like someone called you a mean girl and then you proceed to show the meanness. So okay, now, well, she was right. And that is exactly. So I'm with you on the she's the witch at this point because the way she moves is clearly giving witch. Now let's talk about a drunken, evil, envious POS. Now I don't know what POS means, but or am I reading it wrong? Envious pos. What is a pos? You guys, please let me know. Am I being slow? What is a pos? Riven with lean, please. Please teach your sister what is a pos. Pos, POS. You got me confused this evening. But she's a drunken, evil, envious. Now, yeah, I do see that evilness. I see the envy in her, and I feel like she's always been envious of Phaedra. I think she probably thought Phaedra is gonna come and take her spot or something. And then she was like, how dare Phaedra not come? And why is Phaedra not pulling her weight enough? Why is Phaedra not giving us enough ammunition for us to come after her? That is what I think it was given. So yeah, I'm with you. And yeah, she is evil. Anyone that can say the things that Heavenly has said without remorse and be able to sleep at night, that person is evil. There's nothing anyone can tell me. You have to be evil. There is no way you will talk about someone's dead mom and yet you can sleep comfortably at night. Yeah, you're evil. I don't care what nobody says, you must be evil. Something ain't right. You can't be right. And Dr. Jackie's a crypt keeper. Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like Dr. Jackie also uses Heavenly as her mouthpiece. She uses Heavenly as her bulldog. She literally just expresses to Heavenly who she wants to go after, and I think Heavenly does the dirty job. Because let's be honest, Dr. Jackie, of all the doctors on the show, I personally feel like, from what I've heard on the show, outside of the show, it gives the impression that Dr. Jackie is the big dog when it comes to medicine, at least in Atlanta, right? A lot of the celebrity or the lots of the celebrities over there have Dr. Jackie as their OBGYN, right? So it sounds like she's very well respected, well regarded in the industry, in their community. And so, of course, Dr. Jackie is not about to come and do and disrupt her reputation by being out here playing games. She ain't going to do that. She's not going to be out here trying to ruin her reputation. No. Instead, Why ruin your reputation if you can get someone else to do the dirty work for you? Like, let's be honest, it's a win-win situation. You send somebody, get your minion to do the dirty work. It doesn't come back at you in any way, of course. And then what do? I was listening to Queen Sheba. Shout out to her. Hello Palace, if you guys are watching. Yeah. So I remember, I think she was saying something about you get her to do the dirty work. Maybe I'm paraphrasing, by the way. And then it's like it doesn't come back at you in any way, right? Nothing comes back. You get her to run it, and then you give her certain opportunities, like, oh, the White House comes, then you bring her over there. So she feels sort of indebted to you in some way, right? And that's what I feel like it is. So yeah, I agree with everything you've said, even though I don't know what POS means or POS, but yeah, I agree with that. Also, guys, is there anyone who wants to come up? Let me just put the link in the chat if you guys want to come up. I don't want to, because I'm getting tired now, so I do want to go and rest. It's about almost 10 p.m. here for me. And I'm an early bird, guys. I go to the gym first thing in the morning. So because of that, I like to sleep early as possible. So once I like take my gummies, I'm like ready to sleep, and I just sleep for like until the morning, right? So let me know if you guys want to come up. If you guys want to come up, please hit that link. You guys just come up. If not, I'm going to end the live for the day or for the night or whatever. Please hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you for hanging with me. It's been a lovely time. I'll give you guys one more minute. If you guys do not come up, I will end the live. And please, guys, don't feel like pressure to come up. Besides, also, it's a safe space. Like, anybody gonna run you up, run you off. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That's okay. Okay. All right, guys. I think that is it. I did want to talk about the Porsha and Simon a little bit, but only if you guys are interested. Did you guys hear about the Porsha Williams's ex-husband being detained by ICE? Do you guys think that Porsha was the one that ratted him out? Let me know in the chat. This is just like one random point before we end the live. Do you guys think Porsha ratted him out? Let me know. Do you think Porsha peach juice? Porsha reported Simon to ICE. Yeah, like, do you guys feel like I know, guys, it's a slight detour, but we've talked about Married to Medicine for an hour and almost 30 minutes. Let's switch to Porsha and Simon real quick. Do you guys think Porsha reported Simon? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. I'm trying to figure out, how do I do a poll on freaking YouTube whilst I'm on it? Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. You guys know I'll be doing everything by myself. Give me a second. Let me see if I can do a poll. How do you do a poll? How do you do a poll when you're on live at the same time? I don't know. I don't know how to do a poll. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know how to do a poll. But yeah, I would love to do a poll. Let me see. Okay, give me a second. Let me try something. Let me try something real quick. Let me, I don't know if that would work. You know what? I best leave it because I don't want to do something and yeah, maybe let me leave it. Because I'm just like, before I do something and then I can't fix it and then I can't do the poll, but I wonder how do you do a poll? Anyways, ignore me. What do you guys think Porsha reported Simon to ICE? Let me know in the chat. So, yes, no, what do you guys think? Yes, no, what do y'all think? Do you think Porsha was like, you guys pull up, pull up, pull up? I see a yes in the chat. I see a yes. Does anyone think no? I'm curious. Does anyone think no? Like, cause I'm just here like, what y'all think? What y'all think? Porsha out here reporting this man to ICE? Oh my god, I'm seeing the yeses. You lot think Porsha did that? Like, really? Wow. Why do you guys think Porsha reported? Like, are you serious? Why do you guys think Porsha reported Simon? Oh my god. Oh my god. Am I the only one who thinks Porsha didn't report Simon? So we have a mix of like, yes, yes, yes. We have one no. Right. Okay. So you guys really think Porsha? Wow. If you guys were Porsha, would you report Simon? Now I think that's the tricky question. If you were, let me type it for you guys as well. If you were Simon, if you oh no, not if you were Simon. If you were Porsha, would you report Simon? That is hilarious. Because remember, Simon has been putting Porsha through the ringer constantly. Every time, like, a trailer comes out for Real Housewives of Atlanta, he hops in there, starts some drama about it. Oh, hi, Hola. So yeah, so we were talking about Married to Medicine. You can like watch the replay. So we're talking about Married to Medicine. It's a show. I don't know if you guys watch the show or if you watch the show. So we're yeah, just doing reviews and recaps of the show. And then at the end of it, I'm just like I took a slight detour and started talking about Portia Williams and Simon Gorbadia. So I don't know if you know about them, but yeah. Yes, yes, reviews and recaps. Yes. You're welcome, Holla. I don't think I've ever seen you over here on the channel. But yeah, if you were Portia, would you report Simon? Let me know what you all think. Like, would you be out here reporting Simon? No, yes, yes, no. What would you lot do? Would you be out here saying like, Simon, go back to Nigeria? Or would you be like, no, let me not do that? Okay, I see some no's. I see some no's in the chat. Okay. All right. I guess you guys are sweet. Ain't nobody said yes so far. So you guys will not report you guys will not report Simon to ICE. Fair enough. You guys are sweet, sweet, man. You guys are sweet, sweet. Yeah, you guys are sweet. Yeah. But like imagine that man was like disrupting your peace constantly. You sure you wouldn't report? You wouldn't be like, yeah, just leave me alone. Just get lost. But yeah, I wouldn't either. I would just be like, oh, get someone else to do it. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for hanging with me today. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you, everyone who liked this video. I really appreciate you. And thank you especially to everyone who actually left a comment in the chat that helps with the engagement. It's always, even if it's just hi in the chat, I really, really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging. I know it's lunchtime for some of you guys, and so you're actually at work, but to actually take time to join the live and to engage, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Take care, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye. Thank you.